Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Sri Lanka and this is MTV Sports. Well, we've had a look at what's happening in France and what's happening with the in things in 2012 with Gangnam Style and stuff. Shall we talk about what's happening in China?
I know, China, and talking about pets, what is your favorite pet, Vasant?
My favorite pet? I've never really been a pet person. I mean, I have nothing against pets. I love pets. But I suppose in my childhood, I really never had the opportunity to have a lot of pets at home. But I did have fish.
Right. Okay.
They may not be as interesting as cats and dogs, though.
But talking about cats and dogs, cats versus dogs, now I go with dogs any day. What are your thoughts?
Dogs. I think I'll go for cats.
They're very proud and they're, very smooth in their style. But then again, it's a bit annoying. A pet should not be too proud.
A pet shouldn't be proud, but they don't bark like dogs. I mean, I hate it when I go to sleep and, I can hear like the dogs bark outside on the road. Oh my God.
Okay, but then again, now this is one thing also, a plus point for the dogs. Now, usually we don't get too many talented cats. Of course, they have, whatever talents they have, but it's difficult to train cats. But then training dogs is much easier, and we have a lot of spectacular things done by dogs all over the world.
Definitely.
This is something that a dog in China is capable of doing. So let's have a look at that. So there we go, Vasam. That is just proof that
he's
dogs
so
are better than
cute.
cats.
Oh my God, he's like so cute.
I know that. This is what he can do. He can ride a bicycle. A tricycle, rather.
Wow. Well, I'll hand it to you. I don't see cats doing that.
I know, any day, right? So there we go. Dogs being trained to ride a tricycle. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Hats off to the trainers.
I really don't mind adopting that one.
Let him go by the side when you're walking on the road or something like that. You get all the attention you want. But then again, that's for that. And we've been doing a very geographical tour of various things that's been happening from all over the world, starting off with France and then going to what came up from Korea and China. Now we're moving on to India. And Vasam, now talking about Christmas, of course it's the time to be jolly and all that, and food especially. A lot of sweets coming up in Christmas, and a lot of sweet intake, I would say, in the Christmas season with all the cakes. But these kind of cakes are very different. Apparently they are modeled in shapes of temples, churches and mosques.
Wow.
So there we go, religious cakes. Is that a new phenomena? Something we'll definitely have to check out. This is the cake designs rather, coming out from India. So let's take a look at that. Large number of people attended the exhibition in India's southern Bangalore city to catch a glimpse of cakes in the shapes of temples, mosques and churches, which were made to spread the message of communal harmony and brotherhood. Keeping in mind the upcoming Christmas celebrations, this exhibition of cakes opened on Friday and would conclude up until the 30th of December.
We look forward to this every year because we get to see a lot of creative work here, and there's a whole variety and a lot of imagination which is required to come up with ideas. I really appreciate the team who has come up with this, and this is one thing we look forward every year.
There are so many items around. Which one is your favorite and why?
I like the wedding cake, the red and the white. The colors are appealing and the workmanship is awesome.
That was a student who was expressing her views about the entire cake exhibition. Now, the organizer of the cake show told the reporters about the cakes, which were a huge hit with the people visiting the exhibition. And there we go, you can see a lot of people coming on to the exhibition to enjoy all the effort put in to making these cakes. Now that Wasam is also a cake. The dress is made out of cake, and we have a crown
I
next
feel
to
very
her, which we
excited
didn't see there.
seeing so many cakes in different shapes and sizes. I just feel like coming every time. Whenever I come here, I feel awesome and have great fun with friends. And I just like to see many cakes in shapes which I've never seen in any other place. For me, coming to cake show is coming back home, and I love this.
Very interesting designs on display at the cake exhibition in Bangalore. And they've even managed to remake vegetables, which obviously people don't like too much, but then if it's made out of cake, I'm pretty sure they'll all enjoy it. This is a model town, once again.
This year we
an
made
edible
the
model
painting in
town.
communal harmony, which is depicting the 5 religions in peace, and in the center there's a globe which with doves on it that depicts the peace and harmony in the country today. And apart from that, we have made the pagoda, which is right behind me. That is the temples which are there in Thailand and all. It's a copy or a replica of that. And we've got 25 other smaller models, like the cake city, which is entirely made on a big slab of cake. And we made the mannequin. We've wrapped the mannequin with a cake dress. The dress is made out of cake. And we have a clown next to her. We made the Hogwarts castle. We have wedding cakes, 7 different designs of wedding cakes, huge ones. You can order it if you want. You can place an order. We can make it for your wedding and all.
There we go. We have to appreciate all the skills and the talents gone into making cakes.
Some really elaborate cakes. They put so much of passion into making them. Do you think they actually cut and eat them?
I don't know. Would you feel like doing that to this thing that you've been working on for long hours and making it, and then finally just grabbing a piece and eating it?
Yeah, but there's only so much time you can actually keep cake.
I know,
right?
I know.
So at some point, I suppose you'll just have to cut and eat him up.
I know, but then again, that's probably the whole point of it as well, to enjoy it. A cake being, it's that
Well, I
whole
hope
saying.
it tastes
You can't
as good as-
have the cake and eat the cake. So there we go. They'll have to choose between one. Now we have another video coming your way, but just about now, let's take a short break, and we'll be back soon on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Sri Lanka with me, Mevan, and Wasam. And we've been having a lot of interesting videos coming your way, but Wasam, the next
I think
one.
what's up next is kind of a sad story, though, Mevan.
I know. Talk about a prank going bad. Now, this is definitely. It started off funny, but the end result is probably not good. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with the story, apparently an Australian radio show, the 2 presenters have called a hospital, had phoned the King Edward VII private hospital while being on air, and had pranked the nurse, pretending they were pretending they were Prince Charles and also Queen Elizabeth. And the nurse, I don't know how she got fooled by all of this.
And this was because Middleton was in
hospital,
right?
Yes. But she had apparently given out all the information, and this was on air, so it's been circulating on YouTube and everything. So things have just gone out of hand, and she had apparently committed suicide a few days later, which is definitely sad. So it's not a joke anymore. But let's take a look at that video too. Preparations are afoot for the funeral of Jacinta Saldana, the nurse of British royalty who committed suicide after a prank call from an Australian radio station. It will be performed at her native village of Shirva in India's southern province of Karnataka. On Monday 17 December at 4 p.m. there is going to be a funeral, and as the body will be brought to the church
Monday,
from her
17th
house.
December at 4 p.m. there is going to be the funeral rites, and at 3 o'clock the body will be brought to the church from home, and it will be kept for the public for them to pay homage. As this news has spread far and wide, we are expecting quite a big number of people to attend this funeral.
There we go. Something that we all should keep in mind, that obviously prank calling is something that everyone indulges themselves in at some point or the other. Vasam, have you had any experiences
Oh
of
my
prank
god.
calls?
I've done like so many prank calls back in the day.
Okay, but they're all successful ones?
Somewhat. There was a time in this country where we did not have stuff like CLI, and it was just
I know, and there was also this unique feature. I think it was in one of the service providers that you could block your number. So the person who was answering it, even though he or she had CLI, couldn't really figure out where it was from.
Yes.
So I think they've decided to do away with it so that there are less.
But the
prank
telecom
calls.
regulations now are very strict, Bhavan. They actually keep a tab on everything that happens in the telecom industry.
Even prank calls. And I guess there's more reason to do that. That is one classic example of an extreme case where a prank has really gone bad. So keep in mind, make sure it's not too extreme.
Yes.
But then again, who would have thought? I feel bad for the presenters, Mel Gregg and Michael Christian. Those were the two presenters of the show, and probably it was their idea to do this.
I'm sure it was all in good faith, but well, who would have known?
I know. It would have just been like a very casual thing that they wanted to do. But then that is the sad story. Unfortunately, we had to leave you with a sad story, but hopefully your day is not going to be sad, as the weather looks a bit gloomy, but still just enjoy it because it's Christmas. And with that, I think we'll have to say goodbye, Basam.
Yes.
Keep watching Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be back tomorrow same time.
Bye.